Hello and welcome to your favorite travel show, that is Tourismus, where we have everything travel related, all packaged in one. I'm your host, Glenora Shipura, and coming up in today's broadcast, we are of course starting off with news from the industry, swinging over to destinations that you must visit, and of course rounding it up with a trending topic within the Namibian borders or beyond. We will be right back on the other side of this. Starting us off in our topics, Ultimate Safaris has once again reinforced its commitment to conservation and people with its fourth consecutive international guide exchange, investing over 400,000 Namibian dollars since the program's inception. The annual Ultimate Guide of the Year award provides winners the opportunity to travel abroad for immersive training. Peter Luhonia, who grew up near Ondangwa and honed his trekking skills from a young age, earned the 2025 award. His guiding journey began at Sossusvlei Desert Lodge in the Namib Rand Nature Reserve, where he transitioned from barman to wildlife guide, cultivating expertise in birding, stargazing, photography, and desert ecosystems. Through the exchange with Todos Santos Eco Adventures in Baja California, Mexico, Luhonia experienced a transformative 3-week immersion, exploring whale watching, scuba diving, and local cuisine. He said that being on the other side of the world and hosted by amazing people gave him a perspective on what Ultimate Safaris guest experience. The initiative strengthens cross-cultural ties and conservation knowledge. Tristan Caldi, co-founder of Ultimate Safaris, highlighted its value in connecting guides worldwide. Later this year, a Mexican guide will visit Namibia, continuing this model of global ecotourism collaboration. Awesome. This is a really a good step in the right direction. Moving on to our next topic, Namibia stands at a critical juncture where conservation, industrial growth, and community development must be carefully balanced to secure sustainable and inclusive progress. Environment and Tourism Minister Indelani Daniel said at the National Conference on Community-Based Natural Resource Management CBNRM this week, addressing delegates under the theme Enhancing Governance for Optimized Community Benefits. Daniel highlighted the country's CBNRM program as one of Namibia's most successful conservation and development initiatives. CBNRM is a global example of how rural communities can sustainably manage natural resources while unlocking economic and tourism opportunities, she said. Currently, Namibia has 87 registered conservancies and 48 community forests covering over 160,000 square kilometers, roughly 60.7% of all communal land, and supporting an estimated 244,587 residents. In 2025, communal conservancies generated over $109 million, reflecting their growing contribution to both conservation and local livelihoods. Moving on to our next topic, the Namibia Tourism Board (NTB) and First National Bank of Namibia (FNB) have entered into a strategic partnership aimed at accelerating the growth, sustainability, and formalization of tourism enterprises across Namibia. Formalized through a Memorandum of Understanding, the partnership combines NTB's mandate to regulate, promote, and develop the tourism sector with FNB Namibia's strength in financial services, SME development, and inclusive economic empowerment. At the heart of the collaboration is a shared commitment to improving access to affordable, structured financial solutions, particularly for small, medium, and emerging tourism operators who often struggle with limited access to finance, seasonal cash flow constraints, and gaps in financial literacy. The partnership will deliver tailored financial products, including working capital and asset-based financing, while also strengthening financial literacy and credit readiness within the sector. In addition, tourism enterprises will benefit from training, mentorship, and advisory services designed to support long-term business growth and resilience. FNB Namibia has committed $60,000 million towards the rollout of the initiative, which will be implemented nationwide in cohorts to maximize impact. All right, that wraps up our topics segment. On the other side of the break, we take a look at the destinations that you must add to your itinerary. In our first stop, we are at Anandi Guesthouse. Anandi Guesthouse in Swakopmund offers a warm, homely atmosphere just a short distance from the coast, with comfortable rooms and convenient self-catering options. It is a welcoming stay for families, couples, and solo travelers alike. Now, the owner, Johan Andre Fiori, tells us more. Let's take a look.
Welcome to Anandi Guesthouse in Swakopmund, where comfort, style, and warm hospitality come together to create a truly unforgettable stay. Located in one of Namibia's most charming coastal towns, Anandi Guesthouse offers modern, well-appointed rooms designed for both relaxation and convenience. Whether you're visiting for business or leisure, you'll enjoy a peaceful atmosphere that allows you to unwind and recharge. From its tranquil surroundings to its thoughtful attention to detail, every experience is tailored with your comfort in mind. Perfectly located, it gives you easy access to the beauty and attractions of Swakopmund while offering a calm retreat at the end of the day. At Anandi Guesthouse, you're just not staying, you're experiencing comfort, serenity, and a true home away from home.
Ons kry toeriste, ons kry vakansiegangers, maar dit is behalwe in Desember maand.
Ja.
Met die res van die jaar is ons redelik besig met returning gaste wat terugkom weer by ons blymaatskappye wat al jare met ons besigheid doen, wat ons familie is wat inkom en sê ek wil in kamer 3 bly want dit is my kamer. So dis maar ons hoofbesigheid. Ons het 19 slaapkamers. Van hulle is 2 slaapkamereenhede en 'n groot huis ook wat lekker is vir families met pappa, mamma, kinders, oupa, ouma, vriende, lekker klomp wat saamkom. So ons bied ontbyt aan. En dan, omdat ons so groot plek is met baie beddens het, kan ons baie skoolgroepe wat nou kom en dan het 'n lekker tarief. En dan gee ons vir hulle middagete, aandete, soos hulle nodig het. Maar ons doen nie, is dit nie 'n à la carte restaurant nie. So ons doen net dan 'n ontbyt, tensy jy dan spesifiek vra vanmiddag of aandete, doen ons dit ook. Dit is lekker groot gebou. Dit sê dis hierdie groot beast met die warm hart. En dis net 'n groot gebou, maar dis eintlik so gesellig en lekker baie plek. Al die kamers is ook groot, of die meeste is baie groot kamers, dubbelbed met 2 of 3 enkelbeddens of extra by. Papa, mamma, ouma, oupa kan lekker saam kuier, saam bly. So dit is baie lekker. Kan jy nie met 'n klomp gaste wat wil laat kuier en ander gaste wat wil vroeg slaap, kan nie werk nie. So ons het dit al gedoen, maar dis maar die uitsondering.
Surrounded by a lush, well-kept garden, the space offers a peaceful escape where greenery, fresh coastal air, and quiet corners create the perfect setting to relax.
Ontvangs, jy slaap by die personeel. Dis die mense wat Anandi maak, is maar my mense wat lief is vir mense en warm harte het. So dis maar wat ons belangrik. Ons is nie 'n 5-ster grand plek, dit is net 'n groot huis waar jy tuis kan wees. WhatsApp, ons het ons e-pos, ons website is nie op die oomblik lekker in die gang, ons het geskuif uit Afrika af hiernatoe. So hy moet toe weggeraak, hy moet jou van vooraf gebou het, is nog nie klaar nie. So Facebook is ons lekker aan die gang, Mariental en Swakopmund ook in hulle eie Facebook blad. So daar kan jy inligting kry, daarvan af kan jy kontak, WhatsApp nommers, e-pos. Dis maar ken die naam en dan die gaste en soek hom en jy sal hom kry definitief en praat met ons, stuur 'n e-pos, maar kom bly by ons.
Next stop, Culture Café. In Rundu, Culture Café is a cozy and inviting spot where locals and visitors come together to enjoy great food and a relaxed atmosphere. From freshly brewed coffee and homemade cakes to hearty burgers, fresh salads, and traditional Namibian dishes, there's something for every taste.
Welcome to Culture Café, one of Rundu's most inviting dining spots, nestled right along Independence Street in the heart of the vibrant Kavango East town. Rundu itself sits on the banks of the scenic Kavango River, known for its welcoming people and rich cultural tapestry. And Culture Café captures a slice of that spirit in every meal you enjoy here. As you walk up to Culture Café, you'll notice a warm and relaxed atmosphere that immediately makes you feel at home. The cafe is more than just a place to eat. It's a social hub. Brightly decorated spaces and outdoor sittings offer a chance to soak up Rundu's laid-back vibes while enjoying the heat, of course. The menu here reflects a delightful mix of local and international flavors. You are stopping by for a hearty breakfast, a leisure lunch, or dinner after a long day of exploring. Culture Café has something for everyone. You'll find everything from a freshly brewed coffee and homemade cakes to savory burgers, fresh salads, pizzas, and traditional dishes inspired by Namibian ingredients and cultural traditions. Many visitors praise their burgers and omelettes and sweet treats like chocolate cake, who perfectly satisfy the sweet tooth. Open daily from 8 a.m. until 9 p.m., Culture Café welcomes both early risers and the late diners, offering a space to start your day or unwind before sunset with its pleasant ambience, thoughtful menu, and central location. It's no wonder that both tourists and residents alike consider it one of Rundu's most visited culinary stops. So next time you're exploring the streets of Rundu and looking for a nice place to enjoy and relax with some good company, make sure you visit Culture Café, where every meal is served with a side of Namibian charm.
In our last stop, we are at the Independence Museum. Jati Indongo, museum technician at the Independence Memorial Museum in Windhoek, gives us a tour of the first floor's gallery. Let's have a look.
Hi, my name is Jati Indongo and I'm a museum technician. I'll be taking you through the Independence Memorial Museum. Welcome to the first floor. This floor actually deals with colonial repression, starting from the German rule. On this side, we have people who fought against the Germans from 1904 to 1908 during the War of National Resistance. This floor also deals with the introduction of the South African apartheid system, and this is the people who fought against the South African regime from the late 1960s. This part here deals with peaceful societies before the arrival of the Europeans, and behind me here you can see some of the artifacts that were used by the San people. An example of the ostrich eggshells that they used to use as water bottles as well as jewelry. On the other side, you mainly see the beginning of Europeans coming into Africa, scramble for Africa mainly, and there are artifacts there of the way of fashions of the sun, and you see that when they come into contact with the Europeans, they traded beads that they also added on their clothing. This part is dealing with the War of National Resistance between Namas and Hereros as well as the Germans. And the one part, you actually see them in peaceful coexistence. And the next part, you see what was happening during the War of National Resistance, with concentration camps being shown, as well as execution of some of the leaders by the Germans. This part here deals with the First World War and how Germany lost German Southwest Africa as a territory. It was later on given to the South African regime as a sea mandate territory by the League of Nations, and they were supposed to help the people in the territory actually to start governing themselves. However, they introduced the apartheid system. And in the surrounding areas, you see what was happening during the apartheid system with the contract labor system, the minerals being misused and not benefiting the people in the territory, and also racial discrimination. The next part, you'll see people from local communities actually, or leaders from local communities who went to the United Nations to hand in petitions and just talk about how they're not happy with the apartheid system. This part is actually depicting some of the other functions that helped with getting Namibia's independence. The churches were helping with writing petitions, and then the youth was also demonstrating against the education system, which was unfair to the Black communities. And then also workers that also went on strikes to mainly talk about how they were not happy with the living conditions, also their poor wages. And then you also see people going into exile because then they wanted to fight also or help from outside. This part is showcasing the formation of SWAPO on the 19th of April, 1960. And as a result, they also came up with, they introduced the People's Liberation Army of Namibia that was responsible for fighting against the South African apartheid army. And then the next part, you also see the first attack between South African Defence Force and Plan combatants, which was at Ongruombashe on the 26th of August 1966. Hence, we actually celebrate Heroes Day because of that day. The next part is also showing some of the soldiers that were captured from the Ongruombashe attack. They were sent to Pretoria, where they were sentenced, and they were sent to Robben Island.
Well, we do hope that you do give a visit to some of the destinations that we recommend on the show. And of course, do tell us how your experience was or is on our social media pages. On the other side of this, we get into the To The Point segment. All right, getting into our To The Point segment, I am starting off with, I think, a topic that is definitely on everyone's lips. I know I'm quite excited for it. Do remember that the CST, the Cultural, Sport and Tourism Expo, will take place from the 2nd to the 4th of September 2026 at the Hake Geingob Stadium, bringing together Namibia's culture, sport and tourism sectors. More than 18,000 visitors are expected at the inaugural event, organized by Emerald Sand Platforms in support of the Brand Namibia vision. Now, over 200 exhibitors will showcase creative industries, tourism destinations and lifestyle experiences, alongside cultural performances, music and interactive displays. The program also includes 20 workshops led by industry experts, while the games sporting segment will feature more than 3,000 athletes competing across 10 sporting codes. This is definitely the event to be at this year.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us, something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative Sport Tourism.
All right, getting into our next topic, hippo poaching. We talked to conservationist and Shamfura camp owner Max Paxton about the sharp collapse of the hippo population along the Kavango River. Paxton says numbers have dropped from 187 to just 22 in 2 years, warning the decline is driven by organized poaching, not natural causes.
My name is Mark Paxton and I'm the owner and manager of Shambura Camp and have been so since 99, so we've been here for a long time. This latest poaching situation shows a drastic increase. Every year I, together with a group, count the hippos as well as the birds and all the other animals along this stretch of about 25 kilometers of the Kavango River. And in this period, where we had these massive poaching incidents, we had a decrease from 189 hippos in July 2024, which is what we officially counted, to 43 hippos in the same month the following year, and that was over this poaching incident. These counts that we do, I send these counts. The birding stuff goes to Wetlands International, and the rest of the stuff, although it is private, is made aware with to MET. MET has been aware of this situation every single time. I try my best to work with authorities in the first place. I report to MET, Ministry of Fisheries, and to the police. So each and every one of these incidences, even if it's a shot that we hear, I report this to the police and MET. 9 times out of 10, MET doesn't respond at all. Police does occasionally, and at best, they would come out here and talk to me about it, but no arrests have ever been made with regard to the poaching. And because of that lack of interest, the community has become very aware that they can get away with absolutely everything. And unfortunately, my business depends entirely, not only my business, but tourism business in the Kavango region depends entirely on the presence of wild animals and the presence of fish, birds, hippos, crocodiles, etc. So this kind of mass, uncontrolled poaching affects tourism throughout the Kavango region.
After hearing the testimony from conservationist and owner of Shambura Camp, Mark Paxton, we paid a visit to Diona Police Station Commander Joseph Albin. Albin said that there is a perception of increasing hippo poaching along the Kavango River, but noted that such incidents must be formally reported to police for full investigation. Albin claimed that over the past few months, only one report had been officially lodged with his station, which led to the arrest of one suspect. Albin also questioned the accuracy of the hippo count provided by Paxton, arguing that it would almost be impossible to obtain the exact number of hippos given their tendency to move along the Kavango River. He claimed that 3 suspects have been arrested this far. On the Namibian side and on the Angolan side, they were found transporting meat. Albin urged Namibians and the communities along the Kavango River to expose such acts for the police to adequately assist.
The Namibia Tourism Board brought together hunting operators and industry leaders this week in Windhoek to strengthen partnership, promote sustainable hunting, and boost inclusivity. Namibia's hunting industry is stepping into a future where conservation and socio-economic benefits go hand in hand. Here is what Hans Duplessis, the president of the Namibia Professional Hunting Association, had to say. Have a look.
The reality is quite simple. None of us can operate in isolation. What we do only works when there is alignment. Government provides the framework and direction. The private sector delivers the experience, and together we shape as Namibia is seen internationally. When a client chooses Namibia, they are not just booking a hunt. They are buying into a promise of fair chase, ethical conduct, professionalism, and a genuine conservation approach. And that promise is either confirmed or broken through what we do on a daily basis. It's not only about the hunt, it's about the full experience, the communication before arrival, the first impression at immigration that they get off the aeroplane, tired after a long flight, the way guests are received by the drivers, how the safari is conducted, and how they leave Namibia. Every step contributes to their perception. At the same time, we need to recognize that we are all representatives of Namibia, whether we intend to be or not. When we travel, we attend shows, we speak to clients, or post online, we are shaping how this country is viewed. And that comes with a responsibility. Our community operates under a constant scrutiny. Hunting is a topic that draws attention, often from people who do not fully understand. We cannot control that. What we can control is our own conduct, and that is where ethics and professionalism become critical. One poor decision or a careless action can have consequences far beyond the individual. It can affect how Namibia is perceived as a whole. We have seen how quickly situations can escalate and how difficult it is to correct the narrative afterwards. Maintaining high standards is therefore not optional. It is essential to protect both our credibility and the future of hunting in Namibia. It is also important to keep in mind why it matters what we do. Hunting contributes directly to conservation. It creates incentives to maintain wildlife and habitat, supports management of wildlife populations, and generates income in areas where there are very limited alternatives. But all of that depends on trust. Trust between the government and the private sector, trust from clients, and trust from the international market. This is why working together is so important. We are encouraged by the engagement we are seeing and the efforts to strengthen Namibia's presence internationally. It's a positive development and one that we appreciate. There is, however, an opportunity to build on this and to expand Namibia's presence across more platforms in a consistent and coordinated way. Because we are not competing alone. Countries like Botswana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe are very deliberate in how they position themselves internationally. They show up with coordinated delegations and a clear national presence. It is effective and it is noticeable. Namibia has every reason to do the same. We have a strong product, a respected conservation model, and an authentic offering. What is needed is alignment in how we present it. When we approach this together, the impact is far greater. This is not about government or private sector as separate entities. It is about partnership and about recognizing that the success of one supports the success of all. Now, Namibia already stands on a solid foundation. We offer something that is real, not manufactured. That is exactly what many clients are looking for. Our role is to maintain that standard and ensure that what we offer remains consistent with what we promote. If we do that well, we position Namibia where it should be, not as a volume destination, but as a quality one. In closing, every client interaction, every conversation, and every platform we engage with contributes to Namibia's reputation. Let us keep that in mind. Let us maintain high ethical and professional standards, and let us continue to work together to ensure Namibia is represented in a way that reflects its true value. I thank you.
Lastly, before we say goodbye, let's not forget to enter the Easy Easter campaign running from the 22nd of March until the 12th of April. Spend $180 million or more at ShopRite or Checkers and enter the competition with the Synergy chatbot. Every day, 5 lucky winners will be drawn live from the ball draw and stand the chance to win shopping vouchers, food hampers, or the grand prize of a 1-year shopping voucher valued at $2,500 Namibian per month. That is $30,000 Namibian for the year. Winners will be contacted after the spin to confirm their prizes. spend easy, enter easy, win easy. And of course, terms and conditions do apply. And with that, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you for tuning in to your favorite travel show, that is Tourismus. I'm your host, Glenora Shipura, and from me, until next time.